Hello, everybody. This is a Lamley preview. We've got another video. We got our superstars here once again. Jimmy Lou.
He's the superstar.
You guys both are. Come on. You guys are both great for different reasons. Jimmy Lou, marketing for premium. Mark Jones, the design guru for premium as well. Both here to talk something brand new. Hot Wheels Elite 64. Now, this is something that you guys are essentially unveiling at the finale, which is very cool.
Yes.
But there's going to be, I'm sure, a million questions, of which I don't know what all the questions will be, but I'll try and ask a couple.
Yep.
And let's just start with you, Jimmy. I'm going to pan down to what we've got so far, and I want to talk. Tell me about the line. Tell me how this came about.
Yeah. No. So this is Elite 64. This is just a quick little snapshot of what's to come. There's a lot more cars coming out, but we were lucky enough to bring in a few models to the convention so everybody can see. Now, Elite 64, this is sold on direct consumer only, so on our Mattel Creations / HotWheelsCollector.com. So this is not at mass retail. I did
notice in the card there's no J-hook.
Yes,
right?
yes. Well, one thing though, with the card, they will come in protective clamshells.
Okay.
But we're taking it off because it's kind of glary with the camera.
I get it. I get it. So we'll get them in the clamshell.
Exactly.
Okay. So
you don't need a Redline Club membership for this.
Really?
Yeah. So it's available to anybody. So you can just log on and buy it. This is our new line. I feel like a lot of it is a little reminiscent of the Hot Wheels 100% line that we used to do.
Kind of return to the old 100%. That's been a question a lot.
Yeah. So it pretty much dead on right. These are the first 3 models that should come. I don't know what order they'll come out in, but they will be coming.
Be sold individually, kind of like RLC and all that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
Any sense on price?
Yeah, $20.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but $20
in that range.
Yeah. They'll come out around $20. Buy them on HotWheelsCollector.com / Mattel Creations, and it's a fun little line. It's something a little different than you typically see from Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
So I mean,
and how so? What makes it different? What makes it a $20 model versus a car culture premium, for example?
Yeah. So it's executed a lot differently.
And we'll talk, Mark, to you about that a little bit.
Sure. So if you think Redline Club, that's kind of like our pinnacle assortment.
Sure.
Right. That is for the devoted Hot Wheels collectors.
Right.
But for many other diecast guys, they just like nice models of the car, and this is exactly what we're trying to provide for them.
So you're leveling up a little bit.
Yep.
Awesome. Yep. Awesome. Well, that leads me to that. So let's talk packaging with you, Jimmy, and let's get to the design of these cars real quick. So packaging looks to me, while there's no J-hook, obviously no retail, these are the same size as the premium cards.
They are.
Okay.
So you have the similar die cut to the premium, which, little foreshadowing, since this will probably work on a clamshell.
Got it.
Or on a premium car culture as a clamshell.
Makes
so
sense.
So that's great.
Can I see the other side of the card?
Yeah, of course. So Julian designed the card. I wish he was here right now to talk about it, but we have a new Elite 64 logo on there.
Yeah. Here, I can even hold it up kind of close.
Cool. It's got a nice Cars to Star illustration of the car. It has a kind of like a blueprint feel on the top. The sketch, the bird's eye view.
Didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
That looks cool.
Yeah. If you flip it around, you'll see the actual specs of the car.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. And then a nice giant window similar to what we do in Redline Club, so you can see all angles of the car.
So those who want to keep them strangely in package can, and I'm kidding, but can do that. It's very much.
Hey, some people do.
And that's part of the approach too, right? You're
Yeah.
leveling up. It's like that kind of like however you want to display these ultra premium kind of models is you've got that opportunity to do that. It still has that Hot Wheels vibe with the card and the blister.
Exactly.
But a little bit more in that RLC. It looks like a merging of the two in a sense, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Well, I think this is fantastic. I do want to talk about these models, and Mark, who we know from car culture, doing all of. I mentioned in an Instagram post if there's a car culture favorite you have, there's a really good chance that Mark designed it. And he's a humble man, but it's like he knows he does good work. And
totally.
But let's talk about these, Mark. You started tackling these castings. I know these are not all yours, right? But
That's correct. Yes.
okay.
Yeah.
But maybe let's just start from this side and move over to this side, and then we'll call it a day.
Okay, sounds good. As Jimmy said, and you emphasized, these are developed in a different place, same place as the RLC. So it's been a challenge working with a different development group. It's been a long time since I worked with them. And the first one that I worked on is this Toyota Chaser.
Awesome. Here, I can pick
Kind
it
of
up
an interesting choice, a car that a lot of folks in the U.S. might not know, but with the coming of drifting and games, we've got a lot more exposure to it.
Sure.
So we thought it would be a good choice to introduce it to the public. It's fairly detailed. We got a lot more parts. You can see on the bottom you get separate exhaust and tail lights and headlights. I like the finish on the wheels. I really tried to capture the negative camber on the wheels, so they're actually 4 separate axles.
Okay, so and this is where we start seeing the differences, right? So
Yes.
from a standard Hot Wheels is we're starting like the way the axles are done. You can
Totally.
actually create a camber on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exhausts, like, and that's these are the questions I'm asking. The wheels obviously are these wheels.
They're unique to each casting.
Yes.
So that was my next question.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
next level too. So
Yes.
it's like
Right.
as you're developing a casting, you're considering the wheels as well.
Exactly.
In the
Correct.
development.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. That makes sense.
You can't
That
see,
makes
but
sense.
the interior, we have separate seats and a separate dash with a separate steering wheel, so you don't have the lovely blobs that we often get in premium.
Can kind of get a sense of that
And,
a little bit. I mean, we're
separate-
doing backroom lighting here, which ain't great.
Right.
Well, take better pictures later.
That's my job. I'll
Yes,
do it. I
yes,
promise.
please.
I promise. I promise.
Separate mirrors, so we're trying to go upscale with this, like you folks mentioned, the 100% type level.
Yeah.
A little bit more accurate to actual dimensions. I noticed someone on Instagram asked why Elite64? Are there 64 cars? That's not the reason.
I assume it's scale.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. So they
Now that opens up a can of worms because everyone will go out and measure them and tell me every mistake I made. So
that's the collector's
that's
job,
right.
right?
Right. Exactly.
Right?
That's what they do.
Yeah. Fantastic. And so is that the first model we'll see?
It's either that or the Gullwing.
Okay.
One of the two.
Well, then let's go to the Gullwing, and then we'll finish off with the Mustang. So I've got Gullwing. I've got a bad shadow here, but I've got the turntable shot anyway. So this looks familiar.
Yes, yes. So, right now we have a premium version of the Gullwing,
Yep.
a Redline Club
Right.
version of the Gullwing,
Yep.
and this is a 100% brand new tool.
Built from scratch.
You built
Okay.
from scratch. All right, so Manson designed this one. Beautiful Gullwing.
Yeah.
If you follow us, last year we released a special edition IWC watch.
That's what I was asking about. Yeah.
Yeah, and the car that came with it was actually the soft launch of Elite64. So that is
Really?
the same
The
casting.
secret launch.
Yes.
Okay.
And they only made 50 of those watches, so it didn't really get out to the public much.
Right.
I mean, granted, the watch was a $10,000 watch.
Right, right.
But yes, it was included in that set.
And that's this casting.
This casting,
Wow.
different livery.
Yeah.
This one, the Mil Miglia 417 race car, kind of tribute to that livery. But the other one was an IWC version.
Now this one has opening doors.
Yes, so you get
Okay.
the full Gullwing function of it.
I can do that. So also roll cage.
Yep, roll cage, everything.
Now,
This-
did the Chaser have an opening feature?
no, it doesn't.
So that's not
It's
a rule
Yeah, it's
with
not.
these
It's
castings.
definitely not a rule, but each casting you'll find something unique. I
Okay.
would say, like I think with the Chaser, it's full on sended drift sedan mode, but it's
Yes.
got that camber,
right.
and which I haven't seen camber
Right.
production
I
camber.
said camber. Right. It's camber.
No, I mean, you might be right.
No,
I
I'm
might
never
be saying
right.
it wrong.
I'm never right.
Negative camber. Yeah.
Yeah. So what Mark did with the Chaser, that was awesome. But yes, this Mercedes, it just looks clean. And also when you compare it with the Redline Club, you'll see the stance. It's quite a bit lower
Yeah.
versus our premium or our RLC releases. So when you shoot some pictures,
Well, one thing I have noticed too that I have not mentioned is that the wheels, because you're building them from scratch with every casting, the width of the wheels seems to be more in line with the casting itself too. So they can be a little thinner, a little thicker, depending on what you need to do. Okay, so unique pieces on each. That was built from Manson. So we've got Mark's Toyota, we've got Manson's Mercedes, and what about this middle car?
Middle car is the beast. Phil Reelman designed that. Sorry he's not here, but I think he did a fantastic job. You see all kinds of detail on it. It's just a super wide body Mustang, kind of a few different years. You know, the
That's what I was gonna ask.
essence of a Mustang, really.
I see a 69 in there
Right.
somewhere, and then a bunch of other.
Yes, he could tell you more about that, but 69 was a reference for, I believe, the front end.
Yeah.
You can see all
see
the
that.
nice detail, the NACA ducts in the rear window, and
Oh, look at that.
the correct mounting for the wing, the latest theory in aerodynamics, and this front splitter I know was quite a project trying to get those support rods thin enough.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at that. That is not a.
Those are separate parts.
Yes.
Separate parts.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Has a nice cage
Got
in
a
it.
bad shadow here, but they're there.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a. Like just looking at it as a
Yeah.
great no, but that's totally a separate piece, right? Or a separate.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then if you
wow.
want to pull the hood off, there's even
I'm
more.
gonna let you do that.
Okay, sorry about that.
You're good.
Lift off hood, he says. And there's even more detail with the twin turbo.
I think it was like a Coyote.
Yeah,
my
Coyote,
goodness.
yes.
Crate.
Coyote,
Yeah.
Coyote crate motor, twin turbo. Phil put a lot of time into that, and a lot of back and forth, of course, of the development
Yeah.
group. Yep.
I've
So
got the
I really
shadow
like
there.
this one. This is kind of when we start out a project, we have a bunch of brainstorm and with a bunch of design people and marketing people, and this is kind of one from the design group. We wanted to go a little wilder and a little more
Just have some fun.
fantastic. So
Yeah.
so this is our one slot where we can do that. The others are a little closer to reality, let's say.
Well, so here's my take. Can you guys tell me if I'm so far right? We're looking at essentially 3 models, but the take I'm getting is that we're going to see high level of premium. We're going to see cars built from scratch with details that are specific to those cars, whether it be wheels, all that kind of stuff. We might see some unique elements to each casting, what those will be, whether opening parts, removable parts, camber. We'll see that sort of. But it basically means we can kind of expect anything, right? I mean, it's like there's any direction you can go. I mean, licensed, will we see non-licensed stuff in this, or is this more in the?
It's more in the license realm, but we won't.
You're not going to put any hard
completely-
fast rule there.
Exactly.
You want, because that's the whole point, right? You can
Yeah.
kind of go where you want to go with that.
There are some wild ones, some ones out of left field that Mark is working on that, I mean, I personally think everybody's just going to love.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I appreciate this. You've spent a lot of time with us, and I think the collectors will enjoy and we'll get their opinions, and we'll see as this rolls out.
Yep.
Do we know when we're going to see the first one?
Most likely December, January.
So soon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very soon.
That's
very
awesome.
soon. And by this time you'll see a couple more models because we'll share some more at the finale.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do it. Thanks,
Okay.
guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.